Good evening, everyone. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your schedules to be here, to listen to my TED presentation, to listen to my message and my ideas that I'm more than happy to share with you. So like I said earlier, my name is Chantel Erkebrak, and the title of my presentation is called Experiences versus Stuff. Now, before I get started, I want each of you to take the time to think of your favorite experience. Now, whether this experience is something that happened recently, something that happened years back, go ahead and think of that experience. I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. Okay, now that you have your favorite experience in mind, think of your favorite object, your favorite thing, your favorite gadget, toy, whatever it may be. Go ahead and think of that. Okay, so time's up. Okay, so now I want you guys to weigh the two. Favorite experience here and your favorite thing here. Now, if you could just pick one of the two, what would you pick? And why do you think? So for me, I would rather pick the experience that came to my mind. Experience can last a lot longer than that thing, and it provides a lot more happiness, lasting happiness, right? So this past, well, I guess in March, it'll have been 2 years since I served an LDS mission in the Philippines. I lived in the Philippines for 18 months in the Cebu area, and I absolutely loved it. The culture, the people, the food, the language, everything became a part of me. It became a part of who I am and why I am where I am today. Now, because it was such a changing thing in my life, I want to share that with people, of course. My husband and I got married a little over a year ago, and since we got married, I've been dying to go back to the Philippines and share with him these experiences, have him meet these people who I call my family, have him try these crazy foods, and just see the people and place that brought such a light and joy to my life. That was always a goal of mine. This past winter, I worked at a ski resort over in Wyoming, and I earned a pretty good commission check from working there. Now, when I got my commission check, I had a couple options, right? I could put the money towards a new car, I could put it towards some more camera gear because I'm a photographer, I could put it towards, into savings because I'm a poor college student, right? There's a whole list of things I could have put this money towards. However, I decided to put that money towards 2 plane tickets and some Airbnb reservations. Just a couple months ago, my husband and I were able to go visit the Philippines. We were able to visit all my areas that I lived in and see these wonderful, incredible people that I talk so much about. During our stay there, we had so many memories, we had so much laughter, so many fun things we were able to share together with my Filipinos, right, my second family. Now, there's no way money or any materialistic item could trade what we experienced. I would never give up anything for the experience that we were able to have in the Philippines. And there's a quote that says, "Fill your life with adventures, not things. Have stories to tell, not things to show." Right? These experiences, these stories, these we can tell our loved ones, our friends, our family. They don't just end. They provide long happiness and contentment. Now, the problem with today's day and age is that we spend too much time and money on unnecessary things, specifically gadgets, right? The iPhone X just came out. You're always encouraged to upgrade your phone or get new this. Cyber Monday is coming up. Black Friday is coming up. Christmas is right around the corner. We're in this trapped mindset of it's these things, these materialistic items that bring us joy and contentment, that we'll be happy if we have these things. While I lived in the Philippines, I didn't always have a smartphone. I didn't always have Wi-Fi, right? Especially as a missionary. I didn't have any of that stuff. I lived a life full of simplicity with one purpose in mind. I lived amongst people who have such a simple yet joyful, happy life. And I loved every minute of it. I learned so many things by living a life of simplicity and really getting rid of all the excess things that you don't really need in this life. Now, I did some research to see just how much money we spend on these things, these unnecessary gadgets and whatnot. And the numbers were pretty surprising, in my opinion. Came down that The average American household spends the most money on these top 3 things, and that's housing, transportation, and food. Now, if you think about it, it makes sense, right? Those are kind of some basic things needs that we need in our everyday lives. But I was surprised at how much it came out to be. It came out to be over $30,000 we spend on these things alone. The average annual expenditures for everything, including entertainment, the 3 things we mentioned earlier, housing, transportation, and food, and things like as beauty products and going to the hair salon and doing all these other things adds up to be over $50,000 a year. And this is just per household on average. Like I was saying earlier, just the 3 things, the 3 main things come up to be, right, $35,000 per year. That's pretty crazy in my opinion. I also looked up the entertainment. How much do we spend on entertainment? Do we spend that much on the necessary things? How much are we spending on entertainment? Almost $3,000 on things such as Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, cable TV, internet, all these crazy things. Now, I'm an advocate for Wi-Fi, and I like my Hulu, my Spotify, my Netflix. Don't get me wrong. I like that kind of stuff, right? I'm a college student. I like that kind of stuff. I like entertainment. But to see that the average household spends almost $3,000 per year, that's a little much to me. Now, there are ways that we can budget. There are ways that we can save back and cut back while still enjoying some of these luxuries that we have. Recently, Hulu and Spotify teamed up to make a student deal, student discount, that you can get a combination of both Hulu and Spotify for only $4.99 a month. So sure enough, I dropped my Netflix, stopped paying full monthly fee for Spotify and Hulu, and just got the student combination. There are definitely deals out there to help us kind of save our money and budget a little wiser, but we do need to be wise in what we really need and what's really not necessary. Now, this is one of my favorite pictures because it's a little Filipino boy. Now, Filipinos, like I kind of mentioned earlier, they're known to smile. These people radiate. I can't explain it until you've been there yourself. They literally radiate with joy. They live in the most unlikely of circumstances. They don't have all these gadgets that we see as, what makes us happy and whatnot. They live a life of simplicity. While I lived among the Filipinos in that simple life, I learned what things really bring me joy, what really brings me contentment, what things I want to tell my friends and family about. It's these simple things, it's these memories, it's the experiences, not things. So you might be wondering, okay, great, we know all about how great memories are and experiences and how much the average household spends on all these unnecessary things, but what can you do about it, right? Are you just going to stay sitting here, walk out of this presentation, be like, oh, that was good? Or are you going to do something about it? There's several things that we can do. One of them is budgeting. We can budget our money a little bit more. There's always unnecessary things that we don't necessarily need. We can budget. We can put our money towards different things. Like I put my money towards, travel fare, which I got for a really good price. And there are other things that we can do. One example of that is something my family and I are doing this Christmas. Rather than spending all this money on gifts and toys and all these things, we're putting our money towards renting a cabin in McCall, Idaho, and spending a couple of days there as a family. And we did this once before as a family, not at Christmas time, but a similar time. And we created incredible memories and experiences. Our family bonds and relationships got that much stronger. And I just know that even this Christmas, if our focus isn't on things, if it's on spending time with each other and loving and appreciating each other, that's going to be something we're going to remember for the rest of our lives. Simplify. There's something powerful behind living a simple life. Doesn't mean you can't do anything. It doesn't mean you can't buy anything. It doesn't mean giving up everything that you ever want or use. But it's simplifying. Prioritize. Like I said earlier, invest in experiences, not stuff. Now, I'm only 22 years old, but I do have quite a bit of experience of the importance and reality of investing in experiences, not stuff. So I want you to remember that. I want you to walk out of this presentation thinking of some things that you could maybe do away with. Maybe you can tuck away this little extra money or this bonus check towards a family trip or something that you can do to build experiences. And once again, I really appreciate all of your time in being here. Thank you.